I, Paul, in chains for the name of Christ, wish to relate to you the trials besetting me daily, in order that you may be inflamed with love for God and join with me in his praises. The prison here is a true image of everlasting hell. To cruel tortures of every kind, shackles, iron chains, manacles, are added hatred, vengeance, calumnies, obscene speech, quarrels, evil acts, swearing, curses, as well as anguish and grief. But the God who once freed the 3 children from the fiery furnace is with me always. He has delivered me from these tribulations and made them sweet. In the midst of these torments, which usually terrify others, I am, by the grace of God, full of joy and gladness, because I am not alone. Christ is with me. These words come from a Vietnamese cleric, Paul Bao Tinh, in a letter he wrote in 1843, shortly before his martyrdom. Thankfully, such accounts are no longer a part of today's Vietnamese Catholic Church, and though it continues to be difficult to talk about freedom of religion, the Church has a strong presence in the country, whilst among Vietnamese Catholics the memory of faith history marked by suffering remains strong.
These are the original stocks used by Saint Joseph Lu Van Nguyen. Whilst these are the iron handcuffs of Saint Andrew Dung Lac. Here we can see that the handcuffs have 3 clasps. This one is for the neck, whilst the other 2 serve to shackle the legs. Whoever gave soldiers lots of money could count on having a chain loosened, and so be able to adopt a more normal posture. Alternatively, guards would tighten the chain by a few eyelets, forcing prisoners to walk in a more hunched position, and a lot more difficult to bear.
From the arrival of the first recorded Portuguese missionary in Vietnam in 1533 to Prime Minister Nguyen Thanh Dung's visit to the Holy See in 2007 spans 5 centuries, a time marked by the persecution of Catholics and a church battling for the right to evangelize freely. In the 16th and 17th centuries, Dominican and Jesuit missionaries struggled with hostile Vietnamese rulers, a struggle that reached its zenith in the 19th century when tens of thousands of Catholics were bestially murdered. The 20th century, however, was a time dominated by communism, a system committed to eradicating every sign of religiosity. A very special museum presently stands in Ho Chi Minh City, a testament to the often harsh and difficult history of Vietnam's Catholic Church.
The reason for building this center was to arouse in all believers the light of faith. In this hall we can see a boat. It symbolizes the arrival of the first Western missionaries, who arrived here in a ship, whilst the first Vietnamese also met them on a boat. Presently the boat is the symbol of Vietnam's Catholic community, one that sails between the 2 waves, those of culture and faith. On this side we see a depiction of the West, whilst on the other of the East. The Catholic community is like a boat sailing between the waves of Western and Eastern culture.
Estimates indicate that over the centuries, upwards of 130,000 Vietnamese Catholics and foreigners engaged in spreading the faith suffered a martyr's death in Vietnam. On June 19, 1988, John Paul II canonized 117 Vietnamese martyrs, including 8 bishops, 50 priests, 16 catechists, 1 seminarist, and 42 laypersons.
Passing into the next room, we can see testimonials to the faith, a collection of all sorts of objects and articles linked to the suffering of missionaries who sacrificed themselves for the faith. Some sand over there, soil, small and big stones. They were taken from the sites of those tortured to death for their faith.
Located in the heart of the country, some 60 kilometers from the city of Hue, the Basilica in La Vang holds a unique place in the history of the Vietnamese Church.
This place is very important because of the apparition of the Blessed Mother.
At the turn of the 18th century, persecuted Catholics hid in the nearby jungle, condemned to suffering hunger, disease, and a constant fear of being captured. One day in 1798, the faithful gathered for communal prayer.
And at that time, the Blessed Mother appeared to them and advised them if they pray and they cited rosaries, and they will get blessings from Blessed Mother. If they come and pray and ask anything with the Blessed Mother, and they will be granted.
News about the apparitions spread throughout Vietnam. Growing numbers of the faithful began coming to La Vang to pray for the Holy Mother's intercession, at once making a distant corner of the jungle famous as a place of miraculous healings. A small chapel was built on the spot in 1820, which then grew as more and more pilgrims arrived, until 1961, when Pope John XXIII raised its rank to that of a basilica.
La Vang is regarded as a holy place. As a Marian sanctuary, it ranks as a national shrine, one confirmed by Vietnam's episcopate. Vietnam's Catholic community makes up around 8% of the population. It is a community composed of very young and dynamic people. Vietnam's Catholic community is very focused on its task, that of spreading the faith. It endeavors to be a living example of the faith in the lives of all its members locally, as well as at the national level. To prove to all people that life based on the Gospel, on the Ten Commandments, is wonderful. To bring the Catholic community to everybody's attention. And though the Catholic community is small, one can truly sense the workings of the spirit of the Ten Commandments within it.
Despite everything, the position of the Catholic Church in 21st century Vietnam looks optimistic, especially if compared with the widespread persecution of centuries past. Though official diplomatic relations with the Holy See have not yet been established, Vatican churchmen come to Vietnam on a regular basis. In November 2005, Vatican envoy Cardinal Crescenzio Sepe led a ceremony at which 57 new priests were ordained and then met Vu Quan, Vietnam's deputy premier.
Taka An Chi En. Bien, chers prêtres, chers religieux laïcs de l'archidiocèse de Hanoï, je suis très heureux aujourd'hui de rencontrer ici
the event that the Cardinal Crescenzio Sepe to visit Vietnam shows that the relations between the Holy See and Vietnam now is better.
In January 2007, for the very first time, a Vietnamese Prime Minister met the Holy Father. Shortly afterwards, a delegation from the Vatican went to Vietnam.
However, despite improved relations between the Vietnamese government and the Holy See, the rights and freedoms of Vietnamese Catholics continue not to be wholly respected. The Vietnamese authorities continually seek to control the ordination of new priests, as well as to limit the activities of Catholic activists.
I think we can say this situation has improved, but certainly we cannot talk about religious freedom. It's a communist government which does not still allow full religious freedom. The church in Vietnam is a church that's growing. It's a very lively church. If you go to Vietnam, you will see churches packed with people. Age the Church in Need does a lot for the church in Vietnam. We help, for example, with construction of churches, maybe multi-purpose halls, convents for sisters. We help for the formation of sisters. We provide motorcycles for sisters. The sisters do great work in Vietnam. They're very active. And a motorcycle does not cost so much for us. We also support Radio Veritas, which broadcasts from Manila into Vietnam in the Vietnamese language. Because of censorship, the church is not allowed to have its own radio station in Vietnam. And I believe that this is also very much treasured by the Catholic Church in Vietnam.
Vietnam's Catholic community needs the support and prayer of fellow Catholics all over the world, but especially from the Holy See. As far as Vietnam's Catholic community is concerned, we always look with love and admiration towards the Holy See. We pray for the Holy Father every day, and we believe in the goodness of His Holiness's heart, in which there is a special concern for Vietnam's Catholic community. In talking about the bond that exists between us and all the communities of the world, we always believe that we endure today as steadfastly as we do, thanks to the prayers of all Catholic communities around the world.